Oh,
Hi, everybody.
good.
Hey,
Awards
Trace.
watch.
Yeah,
Hey,
Words
Oh,
watch.
hello.
We're
Watching out for
submitting
the
for best screenplay for the Academy Awards. So
that was you're kind of getting ahead of me actually. I was going to ask if this was going to get a release in time for an Oscar campaign and what that was going to look like.
Yeah, I think we know the timeline, and I'm sure it's
we already have a for your consideration ad that we can send to you that we've already made up
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
best screenplay.
I would love to see it. And our site does have one half that is all awards watching, so we will
Wow.
keep an eye out on what the Napa Boys has going on around Oscar season.
Ooh,
Yeah.
awesome.
I just wanted to ask you guys, kind of the general germ of the idea for the Napa Boys. If you can kind of go back a bit and, give me what kind of started it all. I'd love to hear your perspective on that.
well,
Um,
it started I was going to say when we were children, and we were watching Star Wars and believing in the magic of movies, and then things kept going till now.
I was going to say right now I'm watching 1517 to Paris, and in many ways, what we did is we recreated a thing and a dynamic between us, and then cast ourselves, much like Clint Eastwood's 1517 to Paris. Also employed the technique of shooting basically one take uh, for every scene, sometimes two, but
Right.
Sometimes,
the
sometimes
the 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 first joke was American Pie presents Beta House, and the first joke I made was Sideways presents Napa Boys. So it's the fifth movie in a straight to DVD thing. It's a whether
it's
that's
and
the
then it's more, yeah,
context. Then you go
then
into
it's
and
more
just
than that. Yes, it's
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the yeah yeah.
A
Can I
very
can I interject quickly?
Go
yes,
ahead. Yeah.
yes.
What are some of the bonus features on 1517 Blu-ray?
Oh,
Yeah, what did Clint put on there?
join Spencer Stone, Alex Scarlatos, and Anthony Sadler, the three Americans who stopped the terrorists, as they take us moment by moment through the real life drama just as they lived it. Now that could just be the movie, really. That doesn't
That's
have to.
Yeah,
fantastic.
that really is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did
Um,
want to hear actually, Mitch and Jamar, now that y'all are kind of involved, I did kind of want to hear
well,
just when y'all got onboarded onto Napa Boys, where it started for you guys, how y'all first heard about it. I'd love to hear your guys' take on it.
uh,
Um, Jamar, you want to start?
it, all I know is that after the movie, Armin said, I don't know, man, I just pictured you on the mountain singing or doing something, and then he said something like, "What did you say?" Some shit like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, dancing as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I was like, "Oh, all right." And then he said, "Yeah, so that's how I knew to include you in this or something like that." And I was something like, "All right." And
Hmm.
it was a very Armin-esque thing that how I got included. And yep, I don't know if that made sense, but that's what happened.
Made perfect sense. That's
Like,
I've known Armin for 20 years now, and which is the truth, Armin. Unfortunately, it's been 20 years.
Yes, yes.
And I've known Nick for about probably 15 years, 14 years, somewhere around there. And they're always, I think that they're geniuses. I did comedy with Armin back in the day, and we were close friends, and we worked on sketches and stuff like that together. And then Nick, Nick, is this too nice or is this too?
Yes, yes.
Um,
I forgot we had, yeah. This,
and then Nick, I met later on, and I had always heard great things about Nick, and then I was living with this guy Jack Allison, and I met Nick more through that, and loved Nick's stuff, and Nick is hilarious, and I think that both of these guys are, they're so good at what they do, and they know more about movies and comedy than anyone that I know. And there's like, hints of like Marx Brothers. This Armin will talk to you about Marx Brothers for 3 hours if you want to. And then, The Simpsons. And I was saying that it reminded me of the first time I saw South Park when I saw the Napa Boys in the theater. It reminded me of going to see South Park bigger, longer, and uncut. But from the start, they had always had me, I was involved in some way, and we did a table read, and the character's name was Mitch, so they were very much thinking of me when they cast me, which was very flattering. So just like 15, 17 to Paris, there was not a lot of I didn't have to act at all.
Well, has
But
anyone stopped a terrorist plot?
what's that?
Has anyone here stopped a terrorist plot?
Yes.
I mean, we
Squirm,
might with
of
the
course.
movie.
Squirm is the terrorist of our film.
There's
Prancer.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. And I also love that they put me in the suit. Like it's so different. It's so different than anything I've ever played. I was like, a suit. I was like, yeah, like usually I got my arms out or I'm like some tough guy, but they, they charm me up, and I so I respect that.
Well, one of my
Yeah.
biggest laughs from the movie is Stifler's brother dancing with his briefcase across the bridge.
And I love that no one ever knew what was really in that briefcase. It could have been an unlimited amount of things, but
It's like the
It could
Pulp
be
Fiction.
the Pulp Fiction briefcase, of course.
Yeah.
That's I want to give them credit. I want to give these guys credit because when we were dancing over that bridge, Trace, which I think is what you're referencing, they were playing Jerry Raftery's Family Tree over a speaker. So we were
Yep.
dancing to the song that's in the movie already.
Okay.
So they Armen and Nick already had the vision of what they wanted in every single scene. I mean, they're very impressive like that. They're very they know what they want and they made it with this movie and I love it.
Well, Mitch, I know you already mentioned that it reminded you of watching the South Park movie, which I actually follow you on Letterboxd and noticed that you had said that as well. And that was partially
Yes.
because of the amount of you mentioned there were walkouts at the Midnight
I
Madness.
did mention that, yeah.
And I wasn't able to see it at the premiere because I had left Toronto already, but I saw it at a press screening, and I experienced a similar thing at the press screening. So I'm just wondering if you guys wear that kind of as a badge of honor, that there's some people that are just not ever going to understand the Napa Boys. Because I saw the promotional video from outside, and there were plenty of people that had a ball with it, and like that very niche group of people that perfectly were on board with everything that the Napa Boys is doing.
Yeah, I mean, Bob Dylan went electric, and people got upset, and then years later, they loved it, and I think that's what we were sort of feeling.
I'm like excited. It's baked into it because this is a dialogue that we've started. And no, I'm excited about people walking in because it reminds me also of like Vincent Gallo or, there's things that they've cut out the tops and bottoms to really homogenize everything to never elicit feelings like that. And I feel like one of the things that, me, Armen, Mitch, Jamar, when you go into it, it is such a pure vision that we're not scared of the dynamicism of it. And sometimes that comes with people going cuckoo or leaving or whatever. And it is a badge of honor. South Park and, whatever, Brown Bunny, you just go for it.
Yeah,
And we're nice.
We're nice.
Overall, I mean, that's what's shocking. I think people through the Matrix they haven't seen anything in a long time.
I mean, that's something I was thinking about was that this is obviously prodding a lot at franchise culture, and there's an entertainment landscape right now that is more defined by corporate and shareholder profits. And there is a thesis tucked into this movie about a group of people making the movie that makes them laugh, that it is exactly the movie they want to make, and that is not really, contingent on any external factors other than that. So it sounds like that was something that was on your mind while making the Napa Boys.
Yes.
I think that they thread the needle. I mean, the first time I saw it, Jamar, I think it was the same for you, right? The first time you saw it was at the opening night, the screening on the world premiere. So I walked away and I was really, like I said, I compared it to South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. South Park Bigger and Longer and Uncut, I think it's a masterpiece, but it's, some people, it's not their cup of tea or whatever. And I think it's a badge of honor, if you get the movie and you think it's funny, you get it. And I think that there's something cool to that. And I also, it's like an homage to all these types of, like American Pie movies, but then also it's critiquing them, and it's just they thread the needle so well in the movie. It's amazing.
And people have to get over wanting to overthink something. And like people have to get over that shit. It's like sometimes a thing is just what the fuck it is. Like,
And it's a good tone setter. It's specifically a wine barrel scene, not to have any spoilers, but I've seen a few reviews because the Trace where you saw it was in IMAX, and I even saw a review that how dare they desecrate the great name of IMAX by playing this film with this barrel scene. And to me, that's a review I think we should use for our own awards watch for consideration.
That was I will say that is definitely the scene where I felt like people, decided they were staying or leaving for the rest of the movie.
And I love and there are no more bad boys of film anymore, like it's like, dude, turn up. Like
we're the bad boys of film now.
The Hobbit barrel scene and the Napa Boys barrel scene are both my two favorite barrel scenes in movies.
Both of which I've seen in IMAX now, which is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. I valued getting to see this blown up on IMAX screen for some reason.
And in 60 frames. Now we got to transfer it to Hobbit Vision.
Yes. And then I also watched it again on my computer here at home, and watching it in the privacy of my own home was also definitely its own experience.
Did you enjoy that? I heard I read a review on Letterboxd about someone saying that they wanted to watch it at home. They wanted to watch the movie at home because it was just so dense, and there's a lot of stuff that you miss in the theaters when you're watching it in the theater.
I think once you're prepared for what you are watching, you enjoy it a lot more, honestly. I got a lot out of it the second time. Also, not being around a group of people that seemed like they were just kind of not wanting to laugh at the movie, honestly, except for like a few pockets of sick freaks in the theater that were all just kind of laughing out loud at it for the whole time.
The sick
Everyone else at the press screening was very stuffy, and I'm not going to laugh at this, but I was having fun anyway.
That was another thing I loved seeing. There was a review on there that was like, "This is Midnight Madness," and you guys, anyone seems to react to now is just like a new slasher movie or something. And I was like, this is like a genius comedy movie, and I think it does so much so well. And I had a ball. It's my favorite comedy of the 2000s. I know I'm in it, but that's how I feel.
The way that we designed it is for multiple viewings. So it is the kind of, we want it to be on a DVD 4-pack that you watch all the special features, of which there are deleted scenes and extended cuts that we'll add in on the DVD. But it's meant for that physical media rewatch over and over again, like what we used to do with these movies.
Do you guys think some of the outsized reaction is because of what happened with Napa Boys 3 and kind of the negative cultural perception around that movie?
I think Mitch said it correctly. We thread the needle, maybe we didn't necessarily apologize for Napa Boys 3, but baked into it is maybe reasons why, we are the Napa Boys to begin with. And you're allowed to laugh again. If there's one takeaway, we're allowed to laugh again, guys.
I wasn't in Napa Boys 3, and I was kind of mad at these guys, so I was happy to return for 4.
I think that was a lot of the issue. That was a lot of the umbrage that people took up with that movie.
Yeah, people wanted Mitch's Winery.
which you're back for this one, but for some reason people are still mad at it for some reason.
Yeah, the last time we saw Mitch was at Napa Wedding, and then he went away. It was his wedding.
Can I ask why Ray Wise is in this movie?
No, he knew it was time to pass the torch, and it's time, and here we are.
He is so this is a sincere story. While we were shooting, David Lynch passed away, and on the ranch that we were shooting at was a Bob's Big Boy that we didn't feature. It was just like a collectible off screen, and there was a box of donuts, and he even kind of knew the weight, and it was a very like bittersweet moment of him pointing out donuts in it, and there's a Bob's Big Boy, and we're here with Ray, and we're allowing him to kind of have fun and be himself, which he's like very extremely funny in addition to being a great actor. But I feel like some of that vibe permeates, they're wearing the Ranger. Like there is a crossover between those. And I think that he recognized it. And that's kind of what we did, calculating him and involving him in this.
Him being in it is just so fun on its face. Honestly, it just makes me smile. Him being in something as, ridiculous as this.
He was on a ball. He was on a blast.
He was.
Really was. Yeah, we wanted him. Honestly, everyone, Jamar, Mitch, everyone. I mean, I love them all or as actors. I think they needed to shine in different ways, and I think it just hasn't happened in a long time where everyone in the movie is good and everyone is together and there's no, well, I don't know, there's no egos really. There were none.
It was like a revolving door of these excellent actors coming in, doing their part that we wrote specifically for them to do. Then they knock it out, have fun. Like I said, we were shooting almost one take, barely two takes, and Ray just like fit perfectly into that.
I did want to ask. I followed this other writer on Letterboxd named Will Sloan, and he saw the movie at TIFF as well. He seemed to like it, but he mentioned that it goes into what he describes as like basically irony overdrive once it hits the Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes scene, which I don't think is a spoiler because y'all prominently feature them in the opening credits. And he specifically asks, "Are they in on the joke? Also, what is the joke?" And you
Well,
don't have to specifically answer that. I feel
yeah.
like that's fun in the mystery there, but I am wondering like kind of how you feel about that label of being ironic and whether it's fair to label the comedy as irony if you kind of have a sincere belief in the material when it seems like everyone is having so much fun.
I guess I would just say, yeah, without answering, I am shocked to hear that it's so irony. People are thinking it's making fun of movies. Um, but maybe that's a shame on you, the audience, for 20 years.
Well, it's
That's
it's
I was
also
very
it's a
honored to
way.
have them. Sorry.
Yeah,
We,
the context of Sideways presents Napa, whatever, all of that is just to get back to sincere lines and having fun and all of this. So those guys were totally on board, and they laundered our Napa Boys into existence by their presence. There was no irony at all. It was completely sincere.
Mhm.
I know we're slightly coming up on time, so anything you want people to take away from Napa Boys, feel free everyone to pitch in and let's just get people excited for Napa Boys 4.
The
Uh,
sommelier will be revealed.
Okay.
I want to say that I am just, uh, you know, being in Hollywood the last 20 years and seeing kind of what's happened to the industry and, you know, auditioning for stuff you don't even like and then you never hear anything about it. And then I'm just proud of both these guys for making something truly original and unique and hilarious. And I saw some reviews that were like, I was laughing the whole time, but like, what is this? And it's like, well, yeah, it was like moving you. The movie was moving you, you know, and you like it's that funny thing to read a review like that and have people be complaining because in the theater I was having such a great time and I hadn't been in a movie theater and enjoyed something like that and in a really long time and I tip my cap to these guys. They did it and I was really honored to be a part of it and you don't get to do stuff like that. I mean, it was crazy. We moved so fast. We shot it during the fires and we did one, you know, we often had just like one take to do it, but the way it turned out, I think it's like I think it's a breath of fresh air. It's a new comedy and I think a lot of people are gonna really love it. Jamar, what do you got to say? Sorry, I rambled.
No, I was just saying like I haven't seen a brand new comedy in a while, maybe because I cut on my TV enough, like I put about a movie and shit. So, and I'm glad that this is like one of the first ones that I saw in a while, and it was so fucking funny, and I'm so glad that I was a part of it. And and yeah, man, and I don't have much to say other than I'm just thankful to be a part of it, and these guys did a stellar job, and I was just happy to be a part of an amazing cast and be a part of a dope ass history, you know. And cheers to more shit.
Yeah.
Yay.
I was
Absolutely.
gonna say there's for me if someone was like, "Hey, I've never seen a movie like this," which I see movies all the time, and then if someone were to say to you, I've never seen a movie like that," which a lot of people are saying when they're leaving that movie is like, "Well, I want to go see that movie. Why would I not want to see the movie that's unlike anything you've ever seen?" And I think
Mhm.
Napa Boys is unlike anything I've ever seen.
And thank God for Nick and for Nick and Armin for just keeping it immature, petty, like just like and doubling down on that shit. It's like, yeah, cast me in more of that shit. I'm like,
I know there's so much. I mean, comedies like this go to streamers now. You know what I mean? It's like they're making a movie, and we were in a theater laughing with other people, and that I don't even know the last time I had that experience.
And I think
And-
this movie is designed to be in theaters, and I think it will be in theaters, and it's going to be one of those where people are going to be like, "Did you go?" Like I really think this movie is designed to go to theaters and for people to watch it multiple times in
Yes.
theaters.
It's for the
Yeah, yeah.
children, and it's for the children and the future. And you know, when you were young and used to believe in, sorry,
Look at
that's
this. This is us. We're the 1517 to Paris of comedies.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out. They're driving their car. They're playing themselves.
I think, do you think that will hype people up if we say it's the 1517 of comedies?
Yes.
Do you think, another director later down the line will cast you guys in another movie to be about the production of the Napa Boys? Play yourselves filming this movie, basically, similar to the
I hope
50s.
Clint.
20, 30 years down the road, whenever
Why not?
he's ready.
I think that would make a great film, and or maybe
Like,
it'll be like an Anaconda scenario.
or a mini series.
It was, like I said, it was Clint Eastwood-esque in the number of takes we were doing. It was very similar to that. It was one take.
We should play ourselves in the making of this film, and then it's shooting the scene of me shitting and coming on the barrel, recreate it.
I believe. Go ahead, Mitch.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that happened. I mean, like I said, the fires happened. There was Poison Oak going on at one point. One of the actors here maybe got it on their face, and we shut down for a week, and it was almost lucky that we shut down for a week.
So you actually need your own Heart of Darkness documentary, like for Apocalypse Now.
That is correct.
Or Mega Doc.
Whether we did that, yes.
Yeah.
Which actually thematically does kind of work with ours.
It actually,
no spoilers, but
We were with him the whole way. He inspired this. And yeah, anyone keeps asking, we love everyone, and we hope he sees this, and Steven and Marty and Brian and the rest.
all the beards.
You can feel them all in the Napa Boys. I believe I've taken more of you guys' time than I was meant to already. I did have one last comment. I just wanted to say, Mitch, it's time for the Doughboys to get Jamar on.
Yes.
In the Armen band. And this is not related to any present company, but get Bugman back on, because it's been too long and it's kind of ridiculous.
100% agree. You know what? Maybe we'll have Armen and we'll have Nick Corirossi on for the first time.
It'd be an honor.
Yeah, I don't really know.
We'd love to have you. And Jamar, you need to come on. Armen,
That's
if you want to, you can come.
Of course, I'm coming on.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
This is beautiful.
Thank you, guys. I will be recommending the Napa Boys to everybody.
Yes.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you liked it.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for talking, dude.
Thank you.
Bye.